Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lily. I am so happy you're here with me. In today's video, I am going to show you how I make DIY stickers, handmade, homemade stickers using your own drawing creations or using stamped images. I'm going to show you two different methods for you to do this. This is what we are going to work on today. These are my 80s ladies' faces. I don't know what else to call them, but they are my big hair, big lips, 80s faces. I have been drawing these faces for years, decades and decades, for a really long time. And just recently, I decided to learn how to make my own DIY stickers using minimal supplies. I know what you're thinking. What if I can't draw, or what if I just don't want to draw? Well, I got you. I got you. If you prefer not to draw, you can do something like this using rubber stamps or the acrylic or the Klingon stamps. Stamp your image, color it, and then you can make your own DIY stickers too, just like these. One of the reasons why I decided to make my own DIY stickers is because I like using them in my junk journal layouts. I have typically drawn them onto my pages, but then once I learned how to do the stickers, I have used these in my layouts. And as we get going into the how-to part of this video, I will bring in my junk journal to show you how I've used my stickers in my layouts. Here are some more random stickers that I have created, and I'm going to go through all of the basic supplies that we are going to use to make these stickers. I'm also going to mention the gal who inspired me to make my own DIY stickers, and I will talk about her in just a moment. She's here on YouTube, and so once we get over into the Crafty Loft and we go from start to finish, I will talk about my inspiration. Are you ready to get started to create your own handmade DIY stickers? Let's go! I started working on a few of my ladies' faces off camera, but I will show you from beginning to end how easily I draw these ladies' faces. You will need packaging tape, and the wider the better. This one is just shy of 2 inches wide, and if you have double-sided packaging tape or double-sided wide sticky tape, oh, you are one step ahead of me. And so that is the most important part of your DIY stickers, is the packing tape. I am using this mixed media pad to draw my ladies' faces and also to stamp on. I can't remember if I picked this up at the Dollar Tree or at one of the craft stores in the kids section. It was a very inexpensive mixed media pad. And I also save the sticker release papers. Now, I love working with stickers and the backing sheet. I do not throw those away. I've been holding on to them for a while, and I knew they would come in handy one day. I'm showing you that I use this cute little guitar rubber stamp to make that sticker, and then this little bouquet of flowers. I actually fussy cut this image from wrapping paper and then applied the same technique with the packaging tape that I'm going to show you as we move along. So those are some of the basic supplies, and now we're going to dive into the writing tools that I'm going to use and the coloring tools. I am using the micron markers to draw my ladies' faces. You can also use a pencil. You just want to make sure that you use, if you're drawing, that you use something that is water resistant. To color, I have decided to use alcohol markers, and these are by Spectrum Noir. I've had these for a long time, everybody, because I don't use them very often, but it was one of those impulse buys where I thought I needed it, and here we are. I'm just now using them. I've probably had them for 10 years. And here's my swatch paper. I don't have like one of those really nice fancy swatch charts. I just DIY'd it on a scrap piece of paper. The alcohol markers I purchased at, what was it called? Tuesday morning. And do you guys remember Tuesday morning? Yeah, so I've had these markers for a while. Use what you have, because you can also use any other type of marker and also coloring pencils. But in today's video, I am going to show you the alcohol markers that I am going to use. I am not an alcohol marker artist, so please bear with me. These are some of the Klingon stamps that I am going to use. And I picked these up at the thrift store, you guys. So they are random in these like DVD cases. If you decide to use a rubber stamp or a Klingon stamp, I highly recommend you use a bold image that will be easy to color and also easy to fussy cut. But if you want to go ahead and do a more intricate stamped image because you don't mind all of the little intricacies of fussy cutting, you do you, my friend, you do you. But otherwise, I recommend a bold image, just like the hot air balloon and the pumpkin, and also that little guitar. You can go as big or as little as you want. And I love that I have these random Klingon stamps from the thrift store. I think I paid $1 or $2 for each one of those little cases with all those random images. I have torn a sheet out from the mixed media paper. In hindsight, I should have left it in the pad because the table surface has some wood grain on it, and as I began to draw my lady's face, some of that grain was coming through. But then I'll show you what I do to remedy that. I'm taking my bracelets off just to make it easier so my hand rests much more comfortable onto the table. I'm taking my micron, I think this is a 0.03 tip that I'm using. Just remember, use a marker or a pen that is water resistant or even waterproof. So these work great. And I recommend a fine tip point, either this one, 0.03, even a 0.02 or a 0.05. I start by drawing the eyes. It is really just a little scribbly, oval looking thing. Very, very haphazard, scribbly faces is what I also like to call these. I'm grabbing a scrap piece of paper and just placing it underneath, just so my lines are a little smoother, even though it's scribbly, but you know what I mean. And now I draw the big lips. You can also, like I mentioned earlier, you can start with a pencil and then go over it with your marker if you are more comfortable doing that. And now I'm drawing all of the details. My faces do not have a lot of detail. To me, they are a very simple face. What brings out like each face's personality are all in the details when it comes to coloring. And you're going to see how a black and white little scribbly face is going to show so much more personality once I start adding all of the details to the hair and the coloring to the face, the cheeks, the lips. It's going to transform them. If you enjoy drawing junk journal faces, then this is going to be your jam. The ones I typically draw are much larger, much larger, not much wiser, larger. They're usually the size of a book page. So it was a challenge for me to draw these faces where they are 2 or 3 inches big. And now I did some scribbly eyebrows, some little scribbly bangs, and now some big 80s hair, lots of layers, lots of volume, and ta-da! There you go. Super easy little scribbly face. The next thing I'm going to do, now that I've drawn the little face, I will move forward and I'm going to do some stamped images. I will stamp the guitar, and then I will also stamp the pumpkin because I want you to be able to apply the method that most resonates with you. You want to be comfortable in your own creations and you want to have fun. Okay, I don't want you to create something that you don't enjoy. Here is the pumpkin. Notice how these are bold images, and they are going to be so much fun and super easy to color as well. The other thing I recommend is if you are going to stamp, make sure that you are using a waterproof ink, because we are going to be coloring over that and we don't want the black ink to smudge when we start adding the color. I am using Memento ink for this, but you could also use StazOn, and you can also use archival ink. Those are all water resistant and great for adding color without smudging the black ink. I'm going to refer to my little DIY little swatch card over here to my right. Sorry for the blur, but I really zoomed in on this because I want you to see the detail as I begin to color. This is the Spectrum Noir in the color Ivory. I don't have a lot of light colors, but this one, and there's another one called Cream that I also use. But I have also drawn pink faces. Pink faces, I've done very, very light green faces. The fun thing about the drawings and these stickers is that these are whimsical. You can make them as realistic or as fantasy as you like. And I love working with these faces because I can get really creative with the colors, especially the hair. With the faces that I created today, my favorite was the one that I'll show you up ahead that is bright pink. In fact, at the end of this video, I will have up close pictures of all of these ladies' faces. And the one with the pink hair is my absolute favorite. And then of course, I love doing blue, green, and turquoise hair on these ladies' faces. Don't judge me because I'm not a colorist. I do my best, and more than anything, I am having fun. This is a great way for me to de-stress, and when I don't know what to do, this is what I do. When I feel stuck, this is my go-to. I start drawing ladies' faces and I begin to color them. A great way to pass the time. This is also a fun activity if you are on a plane. So this is a lot of fun. If you are like me and you pack your junk journal travel kit with you, this would be something fun to do as you are traveling on a plane. Okay, the next step is to color the hair. I'm going to use a turquoise shade. This is GT2. I will try to, as we go, mention the colors that I'm using. And there were some that were too blurry, so I won't be able to tell you what those are. But this one is GT2. But you know what? Use whatever color you want. A green, a turquoise, any shade. Make it fun. Make it whimsical. And I'm just going to go on and go around the outline of the hair, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to color it in. I also recommend that before you go in with new colors, that you wait 1 or 2 minutes for the alcohol ink to dry, because if you go in right where the edges meet, the color edges meet, there will be some bleed through. Alcohol ink will dry fairly quick. Just give it a minute for them to completely dry so that you don't get bleeding, like what I'm doing right now. I gave it a minute for the ivory color on the face to dry before I went in and outlined right around the face. That's the reason why I started on the outside, also giving ample time so that the face dries. Otherwise, the green outline right along the face will bleed into the face. I know, I'm telling you from experience. The other thing that I was doing as I was creating this, I was lightly blowing on the face so that it could hurry up and dry. And now I am going to fill in and color everything as best as I can. It may appear like it's blotchy, and I'm doing my best to try to get it as even as I possibly can, but it will be blotchy. It doesn't bother me. These are handmade DIY little faces, and I'm not looking for perfection. I just enjoy drawing my little faces regardless of how they come out. Plus, I'm going to go back and I'm going to add some highlights to the hair, and having this blotchiness in the hair will actually add a little bit of interest and some dimension to the hair. I've said this before, trust the process and don't be hard on yourself. You just keep going and you just keep enjoying what you're doing. You do you, my friend, okay? And I've noticed that as I was looking back at all of the ladies' faces, the hair is so similar. And believe me when I tell you that I tried to make it different. But it doesn't look very different. And you'll notice at the very end, when I show you up close pictures, all of the hair is very different, even though I tried really, really hard. I mean, all of the hair is very similar, even though I tried really, really hard to make it appear somewhat different. And I'm now going to, what am I going to do next? I think I go in and I color the lips. And I love exaggerated pink lips. Oh no, before I do that, I am going to add some shadow. And this alcohol marker is called Cream. I love the ones that have real names. I don't know why there's numbers on them, but I prefer names. It's easier to remember. And this one is Cream, and I'm just going in and adding a little bit of shadowing just all along the hair, the face, and this will add much more interest. You see how the little face is coming alive? I mean, not really alive, but you know, it's starting to show a little bit more personality. This is a green. I think it's VB1. And I'm just adding this very light shade of green to the eyes. Adding lots of color. And then you'll see when I add even more detail to the eyes, how she will pop even more. I'm going to give her a little makeup. This marker is called Blush, and I'm just doing very easy circles. I used to wear my blush like this, believe it or not. I used to just get my powder blush and just do little circles on my cheeks. I mean, it didn't look like a circle, but I am a girly that loves her blush. When you get to coloring the lips, you really do want to do this last. Otherwise, the brightness of the lips is going to bleed onto the face. So wait until the face completely dries before going in with your lip color. There are ways to remedy it. There's a face, and I don't do it here in this video, but there was a face that I did where the lip color bled, and probably what my lips look like at the end of the day. But I took a really light coloring pencil in a shade that was very similar to the skin color, and I just went around it with the lips, and that helped. So do whatever it takes. Using that colored pencil really helped kind of outline the lips so that the bleed through didn't show so much. I'm just checking to make sure it has dried somewhat before I go in with more detail. I'm taking my black marker and I'm just going to add a little bit of detail into the hair, just a few lines. This will add more depth and dimension to the hair, giving the look of layers and volume. And now you could see here how the blotchiness is actually looking much better as you add the details. Because if you look at your hair isn't just one solid color. There's highlights and lowlights giving it dimension. I'm now going to go in with this white Jelly Roll pen. This is my favorite white pen. And I'm going to add even more details, a little bit of highlights to the cheekbones and then to the chin. I'm also going to add highlights to the nose and to the tip of the nose. And just wherever I feel there needs to be a little bit of a highlight, adding the highlight to the lips makes your lips look like they're super, super glossy. And then this is the fun part, when you add the highlight to the eyes. This is where you know the type of personality that this little face has. Because I have some faces that look like they are rolling their eyes at you. I have others that look very confident. And then I have other faces that, like, they all say something with their eyes, and that highlight is really important. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to tell you where the inspiration came. Okay, so I love watching all kinds of different videos on YouTube. My favorite are home decor videos, house tours, remodeling, decoration, all of that stuff. But I also love learning how to draw and color. And so I do watch, people that are experts in coloring with coloring pencils and markers. Well, there is this one cute gal. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She is an artist and she makes her own stickers, but she also has a line of coloring books. Anyway, her name here on Instagram, on YouTube, her name here on YouTube is Deli Dream, DELIDREAM, Deli Dream. And I am going to link her video or her channel in the description area below. She is so cute, and her drawings are like the kawaii type of drawings. So cute. She does all of these super cute, whimsical animals, bunnies and cats and dogs and elephants and skunks, all of the things. And I just love watching her color. She uses all kinds of different mediums. I learned how to do DIY stickers from her using packaging tape. And I think you will enjoy her. It is fun to watch her shorts videos. Her shorts videos are, probably 30 seconds long. And they're sped up, but you can see from beginning to end how she colors. But most importantly, how easy it is that she makes these DIY stickers using packaging tape. And that is where I learned how to make my own DIY stickers from Deli Dream. So I highly, highly recommend her. Who's calling me? I'm doing a voiceover. Oh, it's my friend Scam. So anyway, I will have her information in the description area below. If you have any questions about anything that I have done today, if I have missed anything, please let me know. I try to reply to all of my comments and all of your questions, or all of your comments and questions, within 24 hours. I've noticed that there are a lot of comments that weren't pushed through. And so I've had to go and search for unread or unresponded to comments. So if I have not replied to your comment, it's because I've not received a notification and I have to go searching for those. But I will reply as soon as I can to all of your comments. Okay. So now I have taken the cream color alcohol marker and colored the pumpkin. And then I took the blush color marker and colored the guitar. I'm now going in with a different marker. This one is PV1. It is like a mauve, very light mauve color. So I can add some shadowing to the pumpkin and to the guitar. Use colors that you want. I would have used a gray, but they were too dark and I couldn't find one light enough. And now we go into the fun part, which I think is the fun part. And that is adding all of those little details with the white pen. And you can never go wrong with all of these little highlights. Do as many or as little as you like. I've had other white pens in the past, But this one has been my absolute favorite, and I keep going through this one more than all of the others. This is, again, the Jelly Roll pen. I do have an Amazon storefront, and I will have a link to my Amazon store in the description area below. You can go visit my storefront, and that is where I list a lot of the products that I use in my videos and in my projects. We're almost getting there to the fun part. This is the fun part, the coloring. The next few steps go by really easy. Look at how cute they look. That little face, she's so happy. And I will now begin to fussy cut. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, give you a little bit of breathing room. And I will fussy cut. I'm not going to go to the black line. I will be leaving a white border all along. It's personal preference. You fussy cut however you like. Sometimes I go straight to the edge. Other times I will leave a white border. There is no wrong or right way to do this, okay? I have received a comment the other day, and it's really hard when I'm reading comments. I don't know the inflection, the tone that you're using, but the choice of words that you choose in your comments will come across either joyful or a little bit bothered. and this comment that I read started out joyful, but then the choice of words used came across as though the commenter was a little bit perturbed. And she was commenting on one of my little golden book tutorials, one of the videos where I talk about saving the golden spine. And it appeared that she did not like my method. She said something like, "Why in the world would you sacrifice the pages to save the golden spine?" And that's what I mean by the choice of words. She started out by saying, "I love your videos, but why in the world would you sacrifice the pages to save the spine? There are so many methods where you don't have to ruin the pages." Do you see how the tone there came across as though she was a little bit perturbed? Anyway, I responded to that. I said, I've said it once and I've said it again. There is no right or wrong way to do things, only more than one way. And that's really, really important. There is always more than one way to do something. And then I went on and told her that I am very happy that her method works for her, but what she watched is my method. And I thanked her for watching my video. You will find in whatever it is that you are doing, you are going to find and develop your own method. And you may not like someone else's method, and that's okay. You don't have to like it. So let's agree to disagree. It's okay. From the very beginning, I said, you use what you want, what makes you happy, what you find joy in. And I'm here to share what I enjoy doing in my method, using my techniques, because I'm hoping, and I know that I have, because so many of you have been so nice in when you leave me comments that you were inspired by something that I did, from fussy cutting to all of those junk mail envelopes that I've repurposed, and my method of working with little golden books, how I make junk journal covers, all the things. when you provide me with feedback and you're telling me, when you're thanking me and you're letting me know that you like my method, or you were inspired to create because of my method, that is what is important to me. And that is why I'm here, to share what works for me in hopes that it will also work for you. Remember, I'm here providing 100% free content. It's free, capital free. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to, but I would love for you to stay. I have so much content on my YouTube channel. By the way, I think 45% of you watching are not subscribed to my channel. I would love for you to subscribe. Stick around for a little while because I prepare content like this, all kinds of random things. I just love creating, and I hope you stick around and hang out for a while. I am now grabbing my sticker release paper that I have saved for a just in case moment like today. And I'm taking my tape and I'm going to cover most of the sticker release. I need to cover an area large enough for my stickers to fit. So I'm going to continue and add a third strip of the packaging tape. And it's okay if the tape overlaps each other. It is perfectly fine. This is going to be, what I'm placing down is going to be the back part of the sticker. I mentioned earlier that if you have double-sided packing tape, like that wide tape, I don't have any. I will link one in the description area below because I do have it in my Amazon shopping cart, because I think it'll make this project much easier. And now very carefully, I'm going to place packaging tape over the image. So I'm basically sandwiching my drawing between two layers of packaging tape. And be careful when you stick it down, because once you stick it down, you cannot release it and you may have a wrinkle over it. So start at one edge and then easily bring it down and smooth it across. You have to go easy. It does take a little bit of practice to do that. Unfortunately, this sticker will have a little wrinkle right across her face, but I'm not upset about it. It's still beautiful and I will still use it. So start at one edge, and then if you have one of these scrapers, then just easily go over. And I did go over it and try to smooth out that wrinkle as much as I can. And so now it fits perfectly, sandwiched between the two layers of tape. And now I'm going to add the other two, the little guitar and the pumpkin as well. There's still tape and enough room on my release paper to do so. So covering that little guitar, and now I will make room to add the pumpkin. Do I add the pumpkin on this one? I could have made it fit. I think I go back and add the pumpkin in a moment. So now I am going to cut around the guitar again. This one is a more haphazard type of fussy cut because it's really just, I'm leaving a border of tape, and you'll see what I'm talking about once I show you when I release it from the backing. So just a very easy cut just around the image. You don't have to get into all of those details. This is going to be a transparent border all around your image. These are so fun. I've created so many. I just can't wait to use more of these in my junk journal layouts, and I'll show you that. I promised I would show you a couple of pages in my junk journal as to how I use these stickers. Okay, there's plenty of room here on this release paper to add the pumpkin. There is still tape on that release paper. And now, oh no, I need to add a little bit more to the very edge. Sticky side down onto the glossy part of the sticker release paper. Place my pumpkin over that. And now I will take my tape and sandwich that pumpkin between the 2 layers of packaging tape, smooth it all out. I pointed out that I need to add another layer of packaging tape towards the bottom. It was still exposing some of the paper. Smooth it out, get all the little bubbles and wrinkles out, and now I will cut all around it. You know, when I saved all of these sticker release papers, I honestly had no idea that I would be using this for my DIY stickers. I try to find ways to repurpose as much junk as I can. Would you call this a trash to treasure project? There's a little bit of trash. And now I'm going to release the backing, which is the sticker release paper. I'm going to flip it around. It'll be easier if I flip it around and remove the white part. Once you remove the backing, like I do right here, you are now left with a sticker. Ta-da! And now I have another saved sticker release paper, and I am going to add all of my DIY stickers to this sheet. Look at those little guitars, are so stinking cute. And I'm going to, you don't have to take the backing off right now, but I'm placing them on a larger sticker release sheet. I could also leave them as they are and put them like in a little envelope. They're just ready to go and ready to be used like any other sticker. I just want to use this larger sticker sheet so that I have them all in one place, easily visible and ready to use. I remove the backing, and now they're ready to be used as stickers on my junk journal layouts. Let me bring my 2025 junk journal, and I will link the video up above showing you how I created this layout. But doesn't this lady's face look so beautiful in this layout? And then I'll show you a different page where I used one of the little guitars. And I will also link the video to the making of this next layout. And you don't have to use all the stickers on one page if you don't want to. One of them, look at that, a little guitar right there. Isn't that so stinking cute? Oh my gosh, I love these so much. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I sure hope you enjoyed this process. This is one of my new favorite things to do. And I'm going to go off camera and fussy cut all of these ladies' faces and make more DIY stickers. And I will show you what those look like in just a moment. I will have photos for you before we end. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I will see you next time. Bye.